everybody, you're back! Welcome back to episode 4 of Average Joe's Antics. You're here, smash that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. That being said, what you're going to see in this video is we're going to be getting the power steering pump put on the front of this engine with the new bracket, and we are going to be putting the plunger in for the back of the master cylinder to go on the brake pedal. We're going to fab that all up, coming right at you in this video. So be ready for more. Alrighty, ladies and gents, what we're going to be working on is getting the pulley off the front of the power steering pump. Power steering pump pulley remover tool. And after that's pulled off, we're going to get the new bracket on so we can get it bolted to the front of the block and have it ready for when the belts get here. That being said, I'll get you in here and we'll get her started. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like an idiot, but that's what happens. You learn things on older vehicles that you're used to all the new stuff that's pressed on. Well, you'll see I pulled a nut off the front of the shank for the power steering pump, and then I went to put the power steering pulley puller on it to pull it off, only to find out it comes off by hand. So, lesson learned. We got one step down, now we got to get this old bracket off so we can get the new bracket on. Here we go. Like that, she's on. Now we got that taken care of. Matter of fact, it's starting to look like an engine, you know, a complete full dress one. But anyway, Now, okay, you know what? How about an added bonus? We're gonna go ahead and get the bracket for the alternator put on as well. That way it's already on, and all we gotta do is when we get the alternator in, drop it right in. I do have a mock-up alternator that I can use. So that's what we're gonna do next, and then we're gonna get right to the brake plunger. So bear with me here. Okay, I was having camera issues, so we're back now. It's fixed. Anyway, I got everything in here mocked up how it's supposed to go. I actually have to get a different bolt for the cylinder head because whoever had these heads before me, they actually cross-threaded the hole. Let me move this out of the way. Cross-threaded the hole to where if I slip this in here, they tapped and re-drilled it. So these threads are not big enough to grab at all. So that being said, we're gonna have to find a bigger, next size up Allen head bolt to be able to hold the alternator in place properly. Now that that's done though, we can move on to getting our plunger done for our brake master cylinder. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started and that finished up. So we'll see you there. Okay. Here are our next two pieces for the next thing, which is our plunger for our master cylinder. We're gonna thread this further on as far as we possibly can. Alrighty. That's on. Now we have a bolt inside the car you slip through for this to go on the back of the brake pedal, and then we're going to take this and slip it in, and we're going to find out how much we need to cut off one or the other so we can tack weld it into place. Okay, so what it looks like to get these to work together, I'm gonna have to come in here and I'm gonna have to cut this essentially flush off with this lip, and then I'll be able to weld this, shape it up, clean it up, and weld this directly to the back of this, and we should be rocking and rolling in business. So we'll get it over there to the grinder, get everything cut and cleaned up, and we'll get her underway. All right, let me get this set up in the vise. Tighten down. Grinder, remember, safety squints, and don't let your hand get too close to that wheel without that guard on it. It's not fun. Just like that. Now, I'm going to take this to the bench grinder and clean up this end. Don't really need a bench grinder, I guess. I can stick it in right here. So before I tack welded it, I went ahead and remeasured. It's a good thing I did, because I need to at least take another 1/8 inch off this before it'll clear. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, now I'm going to run and do a test fit real quick and make sure that it's going to work this time before we just go ahead and tack weld it. Alright, so I actually took a little too much off, so now I got to try and find something to replace that said too much. So I'm going to try and see if I can stack a washer on there and check it again, and then if I need another one, stack another washer on there. But that's just going to be the process, so just bear with me. Looks like that crappy ugly weld job did the trick. Gave us just enough. Set this right and we'll be in business. Working perfectly in business. Well, it's ugly, but it'll get the job done for what we need it for sure. Well, let's get back to the car and get it into place. And just like that, we're 3 steps closer than we were before. We got the plunger for the brake master cylinder and brake pedal done. We got the power steering pump put on, and we got the bracket for the alternator put on. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a professional, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen.